Welcome back to Double Bogey 3 Putt. Today is week 7 of the PuttSTOP Winter Trackman League. Please join us for every high and every low in this critical tournament round. Double Bogey 3 Putt thrives because of viewers like you, so please do be sure to like and subscribe to Double Bogey 3 Putt. Now, on to the show.
Hi there. We're on week 7, round 7. This week is that Gloria Resort new course. Leading score, something like a -4 or 5, which is fine, but everybody under that's at -1. So not a ton of under par on the board. Looks like a tough course. There's trees along the side of almost every hole, so got to keep it straight, keep it in play. I believe I'm sitting in 8th place after last week's 4th place finish, so sitting right now just outside the money. Yeah, it's 12 weeks, 10 weeks count. You get to drop your 2 worst, and yeah, I think I'll do 2 attempts this week, maybe 3. We'll see how it goes.
And, well, here we are, hole 1 on Gloria new course. You see, we're teeing off with the 5 wood. Try to keep it between these tight and dense trees along the side of the fairway. Pretty good strike, but a bit closed on the face, perhaps a grip issue there. Puts us, unfortunately, behind a tree. Now, 120 yards out, 85% power, about 70% spin is going to be applied. What do? We're going to punch a 5-iron. Let's see. A good strike just under the tree branch and just over the rough, and, well, my gosh, damn near hit the flagstick. Does roll back into the rough off the back of the green. Now, you'll see here the lines let you read the green, so you can see how this will roll out a chip like this. 17 yards, a little bit of spin reduced. See if we can get this in the circle for par. Good strike, and it's tracking towards the hole, and that's going to be a par on first hole, folks. Now, second hole, par 5. Again, you see the trees on the side of the fairway. These are really the defense of the course. Here we are with driver. Good straight whack with the driver. You see everything's squared up. A slight off-center hit, just a little bit to the toe, and results in a bit of a draw. Not bad. We are in the rough, so we'll take a distance penalty here, but 5 wood should get up close to the green. Another closed face on that 5 wood. Seems quite a bit left with that closed face and quite a bit short. Perhaps he hit that fat. Anywho, we're 69 yards. Nice. And about 85% power with, again, reduced spin. 56-degree wedge. Make sure to get over the sand trap and hopefully stop on the green. Now, that carried 78 yards. It's a very important distance to calibrate. Seems we're not quite calibrated today. Long putt here. 53 feet or so, I believe. If we get this to stay, it would be a par. If we get this to drop, it would be a birdie. We settle for par. Now, moving on to the third hole. Par 3, you can see over a bit of water, a bit of a rock wall, and 152 yards, up 10 feet in elevation. Very important. Pay attention to the elevation here. On the simulator, it's sometimes easy to forget how much an elevation will really play into things. We've elected a 7-iron. Seemingly good strike. A bit closed, and a bit high in the face perhaps, but on target. And carried 149. Exact correct distance with just the slightest little bit of pull. We have a nice putt for birdie. So the screen here on this simulator is about 10 feet away. It's a good measurement for a 12-foot putt like this. If you barely tap the screen, you know, you're just barely going to make it to the hole. Now, unfortunately, Ryan pulled that and wound up on the left side of the hole, but another par. Now, par 5, 4th hole. Looks like lots of room for this driver. Lay it out and hopefully fade it into... Nope, just duck hooking into the trees. Now, it's not that closed of a face, but there's been some issue with driver lately. Yeah, you'll see. Yeah. Wondering with those numbers how that shot went so poorly. There's been an issue with the driver lately, finding some sour spots on the face. Perhaps a replacement is in order. Anywho, here we are. Appear to have bounced back into the fairway. Center of the fairway, and a much more stable hit. You'll see the path, face angle, everything is much more centered. We do find the rough by that middle fairway bunker. 131 yard 9-iron out of the rough. And that's going to come up a fair bit short. Now, out of the bunker, you see, good lie here. We're going to get some spin on this, but only about 82% force. See if we get the right carry distance, and no, that's just too far. Carried 35, one bound, and into the back. Now, delicate chip, 10 yards back off the back of the green, short-sided. Need to get this onto the surface and roll out nicely. Very good. Brings us to hole 5. Quite the dog leg. Quite the severe dog leg left. Want to take on that left tree, really. We've selected driver and cruising along here. +1 for the gross, but with our handicap taken into account, we're sitting at even par. Now, a good drive. This one definitely won't be hooking left. Hopefully stays nice and straight up the fairway. 238 carry, not too shabby. Puts us in nice position, 140 yards away. We've got an 8-iron. The hole is 5 feet up, and there is a slight tailwind. So this ball should stop nicely if we get a good hit on it. With that raised green and an 8-iron full swing. Not too shabby, a little bit of a pull. Now, 36 feet, and looks like maybe 2 feet of break being accounted for here. Almost a level putt, only 2 inches difference. We'll see if we get a nice lag into the 8-foot gimme circle, and we do. Excellent. Moving on. Hole 6, par 3. Now, one of the easier holes, as far as the stroke index goes, 157 yards, down 6 feet, and we've elected a 7-iron. Slight breeze into our face will help that ball sit down nicely, and this is a well-struck shot, isn't it? 153 carry, and it settles down just outside that gimme circle. Must say, playing simulator golf, there's nothing like a gimme circle birdie to really make you happy. Now, 10.5 feet, just get it to the screen, and it peels off to the left. It was a good putt, good attempted birdie, but we remain +1 gross, and again, even par for the tournament, with the handicap taken into account. Now, a 5-wood off the tee here. There's really just no reason to worry about a driver on this hole. You want to keep that 5-wood in play. Driver would wind up God knows where. You'll see a slight left shot, and that stays in the fairway, but we have a bit of tree branches overhanging. 87 yards. Full 56-degree wedge with a slight tailwind. Good full swing. Gets up through the branches. And those branches didn't take anything off. We've flown the green. 96-yard carry on that one. Now we're coming back, trying to stick this in that gimme circle to save our par. Delicate 13-yard chips here. You need the right amount of carry, the right amount of spin, and the right amount of rollout, and you can do that for par. Hole 8. Par 4 up to the right. Now, there is some water on the right side. Ryan's went with driver, but must be feeling confident that he hasn't lost any to the right yet today. And this is a scary looking swing. It was open, but it was just toey enough to turn that push into a draw. Now, 85 yards. Some spin has been reduced. 85% power. 151 yards with a 7-iron. Nice full shot. Hopefully with some run. And that is on line. And that is rolling towards that circle. Almost dunked it for eagle, folks. That was a birdie. Now, on the hole 9. Finish up the front 9 with a par 5. Index 3. Fairly tough par 5. Ryan's elected a 5-wood here with that water in play and those trees and an out of bounds line in play. You see the dotted line on the little map. Get this into play and be quite happy. Excellent shot avoiding the consistent left draw that he's had with that 5-wood this round. Puts him in the fairway. 255 yards away, up just 2 feet, so fairly level with some wind helping off the right side, pushing to the left and a little bit forward. A full 5-wood may get there. He's hit it well, folks. And he's hit it just a smidge left. If that was a smidge to the right, that may have actually rolled out to the green, but instead we're in the bunker. Anywho, good spin out of this bunker, so the lies well, but 75% power needs to be adjusted. Make sure we get some nip on this ball, and is that going to stay? It does. Very good front 9. On to the back. Hole 10, par 4. Classic hole where just dense, huge trees lining the fairway. I get out a 5-wood. It's a long hole for a 5-wood, but it is a tight fairway, remember. Unfortunately, you get in the trees on this sim. It can be 1 or 2 or 3 strokes to get out as you start knocking your ball around the branches. Now, 226 carry with his 5-wood's about right. And would you look at that? We're sitting -3 for the tournament. -1 overall. What a phenomenal opening 9 holes. Anywho, 7-iron. Hoping to carry these bunkers and get it on the green. Just barely carries these bunkers with the club being a little bit open and hit off the heel. Now, another short 13-yard chip. See if we can stick this in there and carry along with another par. No, not this one. The spin wasn't quite there to stick the green. It rolled a little too much, and it's easy to lose its downhill when the ball rolls away. Anywho, 15.2 feet for par. And no break on that. It's a bogey. Hole 11, par 4. Try to stop this bogey train right here. Driver. Feeling those trees up the fairway are a bit thinner, so not so penalizing, perhaps, should you find your way in. But this will remain on the green stuff. Whether it's long or short, it'll be the long green stuff, the rough. And again, 85% power with some spin reduced. Ryan has a pitching wedge. Try to get this pitching wedge lofted to get over the bunker and stop on the green. And he's shot by 2 yards. Just needed to give it a little bit more. It's very easy when you're doing not a full swing to ease up just too much. Lose your distance now. Delicate 14-yard shot out of the bunker. Get it up high and over that fringe and stop it in the circle. What a masterclass. Hole 12, par 3 over water. Long one. 215 yards. And we've elected the hybrid. Danger with this hybrid sometimes is popping it up too high and having it fly only about 120 yards. Seems to have stayed down through it fairly good. With a slight pull, carry will be about right, 189, but that slight pull puts us a little short-sided over this bunker, 29 yards, and not a lot of spin. This is going to need to use loft in order to stop. And that's up and over, and will it stop? It hit the pin. It bounced off the flagstick. Looked like it disappeared for a second, but no. It's just a good chip. Not a great chip. Anywho, hole 13. driver, and this is a dog leg to the right. Unlikely to be able to carry or roll to the water, and in fact, playing the normal slice, or fade as you might like, might be able to get over these trees. Unfortunately, he does get caught up, and it looks like he's, in fact, inside a bush. Now, it's always scary when you're inside these sorts of things. You could hit a perfectly good shot, and it could go straight backwards. 34 yards back to the fairway. Successful pitch out. It is scary. There's a moment when you're not sure if the ball is going to go forwards or backwards there. 127 yards, 9 iron. And just not enough given to that shot. It will roll, but it will roll into the rough. We're left with a 20-yard pitch with a 60-degree wedge. Would be really good to make this in the circle and avoid double bogey. Carried it only 7. Will that roll out to the circle? It will indeed. Will it roll in the hole? Not so lucky today. Hole 14, par 4, index number 2. It's the second hardest hole on the course. Electing to go driver. Wind is in our face. Driver is left out to the right, and that wind in our face is going to exacerbate the problem. And oh, pack your bags, folks. We are going hiking. Now, 150 yards. Not too much distance penalty here, and perhaps Ryan doesn't even see a window of opportunity up there to get the ball through these trees. Let's see. Can he do it? Takes a massive swing going up, and he's done it up through the hole, but a little bit of a fade, and he's still off the side. Now, fortunately not blocked out directly by a tree, but he is quite short-sighted. 27-yard pitch with very little spin applied. That needs to get up, and not quite. By a yard. Now, 11 yards. Just a tiny chip and roll. Hopefully roll out the correct distance to stop in the circle. You'll see. Using the Jedi mind tricks of holding out his hand. On to hole 15, par 3. Now, you see this green. It's quite a drastic fall off right at the front here. 161 yards, 7 iron. He's got to really get into this 7 iron to get it there. There's a slight helping wind. And it's an excellent shot. Is it going to make it up to that green? Oh, half a yard more. That would have been a perfect shot. Now he's putting from the fringe along the ridge. 12 yards, breaking hard to the left. And uphill. Manages to hold the circle for a par. Good par. Rolling right along the hole 16. Par 5. Excellent position, folks. Sitting at -2 for the tournament and +2 overall gross. It's a 500-yard par 5, but it's really a 3-stroke hole. You see Ryan's hit a 5-wood and has pulled it quite badly here. Hopefully he's left with the shot in amongst these trees, gets a fortunate bounce, and yes, he does have an angle back in. Now his hybrid from the pine straw. You really just want to avoid pulling this left into the water. Anywhere playable up here is just fine. Be left with a nice short pitch for your third. Well, that gets a bit of roll and, well, unfortunately winds up in the rough. That's going to affect his spin and affect his ability to stop the ball on the green. Now, 60-degree, 44 yards. Really needs to get hit hard. And oh my gosh, ladies and gentlemen, that was a shank. Anywho, no harm done. Fourth shot, 25 yards. Good spin on this one. And that was a toe shank. Okay, reset now, 18 yards. Get it on the green, and let's get out of here. Nice and high ball. And that... my dear. 9-yard chip. Please stop the bleeding. It does, fortunately, make the circle, but that is going to hurt the score. I believe that was a double bogey. Out of good position, too, on a par 5. Anywho, 17th hole, 138 yards. slight hurting wind, and we've elected an 8-iron. It's a good strike here. Seems to be right on the flagstick. Oh, just about a gimme birdie after a double bogey. That would have been nice. Anywho, 10.7 feet. Dropped this putt, which sure feel good, but there's some break, and it's a par. We come to 18, sitting at -2, I believe. Par 5. Sitting at even. Oh dear. How did that happen? Well, par 5, let's go get a birdie. Driver, keep it away from the water, and hopefully not too bad in the trees if it does leak. Which it does indeed leak. And, well, he does have some bit of a window through. It's a par 5 after all. Now, just clean up, get us up the fairway, and find our way to the green. Nice 6-iron, smooth and low. Indeed. Keeps it under the branches, punches it up, and, well, he's still in the rough, but had no water trouble and is sitting 110 yards from the hole. Now, this pitching wedge is perhaps got to be hit very hard. You'll see he's actually aimed far right, planning to hook around this pitching wedge. Get a little draw on it as he applies the power to get it up over those branches, which he does. But he does not get any draw. It actually fades, and it's hit the cart path. And it's got down before the water, but it's outside of the bounds of play. That's an out-of-bounds ball. Penalty of stroke and distance because of one cart path hit. This is devastating, folks. Back where he was. One more pitching wedge. Gets this over the tree as well. Better line, but not drawing enough, just on the straight line. He's going to be left with another short pitch to try to save bogey. Can he do it? Oh my gosh. 13 yards. Get in that circle, please. Get in the hole. Neither in the circle nor the hole. 7th shot. 14.5 feet for double bogey on 18. Please, God, go in.
Alright, I've completed all 3 rounds. My 3rd round was by far the best. Unfortunately, my 3rd round ended with a bit of heartbreak on that cart path bounce. Also, the double bogey on 16 from really good position hurts a lot. And the double bogey or triple bogey, whatever the hell it was, on 18 hurts a lot. Both felt I was in position. Both just +3. I think I'm 14th or something, which does move me up 9 spots from my previous best round for this course. But man, moving on. Abu Dhabi's next week. It's going to be a totally different course. Let's get after it, I guess.
Well, there you have it, folks. Sometimes that's just the way the cookie and score crumbles. Next week, we head to Abu Dhabi for week 8 of 12 in the PuttSTOP Winter Trackman League. Please, don't be a stranger. If you've made it this far, do be sure to like this video and, of course, subscribe to Double Bogey 3 Putt. Good day.